Hello everyone, I am Anthony Prieto, here with EBC News with my fellow informant Justin Briggs. How are you?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having the show today.
My pleasure. And we're here to talk about the truth behind ISIS. The first thing I want to ask you was, what is ISIS and where do they come from?
ISIS stands for the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, and there's two events that really define ISIS today. One is the U.S. led the invasion in 2003 of Iraq, and also when the Syrian civil war broke out in 2011 that's still occurring today.
Okay. One thing I want to know is, why do people want to join ISIS?
I think people want to join ISIS because they're influenced by them, of course, and there's a lot of propaganda over there that is like, oh, join, let's kill American invaders because they're so bad. But the truth is, we're trying to stop them, but they look at us as bad people. But they're the ones that are killing people and enslaving young kids to battle in war and possibly die. And a lot of the people that they recruit are in their mid-20s, and they're men, of course, no women usually, and a lot of minorities. So.
Okay. What role does ISIS play in Syria?
ISIS and Syria are more like a partnership, actually. ISIS has had help from Syria, and Syria actually asked the U.S. for help, like for weapons and stuff, and we gave it to them because we're kind, and ISIS ended up actually getting them, and that kind of just drew the line between us and Syria. So ISIS and Syria are kind of like a partnership. They get some recruitments from Syria, and they help in war and stuff like that. So it's basically that.
Okay. Where does ISIS get all their resources and funds?
Through the Saudi government, and also private funding from the wealthy Saudi businessmen. And we actually do not know who these people are. They're just random people like the shadows in the back that help because they can't battle or they're old or they just want to see people die. And that's just the sad truth.
What do Muslims think of ISIS?
Actually, Muslims hate ISIS. Most Muslims hate ISIS. There are Muslims that support it and they hate Americans after all the propaganda, of course, ISIS puts out and they see. But there's a very big majority of Muslims that actually hate them because they don't like the brutal killings or the beheadings or just stuff like that because it's not good. It's sad because there's so many peaceful Muslims out there that can't defend themselves because they'll die. And even though ISIS is a big group, they're not big enough to overrule all the Muslims, and that's sad too.
Okay. Does ISIS actions reflect Islamic teachings?
Yes, it reflects an extremist interpretation of Islam that Muslims worldwide have declared illegitimate, and due to ISIS' atrociousness, acts of violence towards others too.
Okay. I was wondering, why does ISIS call itself a caliphate?
Caliphate actually refers to Islamic State and then some, which means like another country that Muslims live in. And it's sort of like Syria too. Syria and ISIS are caliphate. It also goes with the idea that ISIS wants to expand and make more caliphates, if you understand what I mean. More Muslim following countries and stuff like that.
Okay. What does ISIS want?
ISIS wants to rule. It wants to expand and rule, but not necessarily rule the world. ISIS wants more people to follow and worship the gods and stuff like that they do. And they won't rule the world. That won't ever happen, but they will expand. That's what they want to do. And it can get bad because they're killers and they just want to kill. If you don't follow what they do. And it's sad. And that's why Americans, we want to stop that and prevent that from happening.
Okay. When searching about ISIS, this name comes up a lot. Who is Bashar al-Assad?
He's actually the most responsible man for ISIS. He's very influential. His name is known. He was actually part of the invasion in 2003 of Iraq. He was behind it, of course. People look at him as a leader. He's a prime minister, and he's just a big character out there, and he just was one of the starting people.
Okay. And how do you stop ISIS?
Well, we cannot stop them with bullets and bombs, because that's all it seems like today is the war. It's just we blow up a lot of people, and we kill people, and we shoot and kill and shoot, and we lose people, and that's not how we're going to stop ISIS. we have to stop the political problems that we have with the world and ISIS has with the world, of course. With one being, I need a peace deal with Syria, as far as the United States and ISIS, just all around, just to make everything better. Also, Iraq's government has to be fixed. It's a big mess, and they need a new leader, someone that's gonna take control and not let all this occur. Also, Iran and Saudi Arabia need to back off one another. They're actually in a cold war right now, it's costing millions and millions of dollars, and that money could be going towards more important stuff than just killing and dying and trying to survive.
So there you have it now, folks. You now know the truth behind ISIS. Thank you for your time. This is EBC News signing off.